Alright guys, so this is the very simple mending that I told you I had to work on for my friend. So this is actually a shirt. I thought it was a skirt, but it's actually a shirt. And what happened was she purchased this, and somehow this piece right here of the hem never caught onto the thread. So somehow when they sewed the hem, there was a stitch line right here under the hem, whereas though this part right here never caught. So the ask is that I just, sew this up so that this woven, as you all know, it will continue to unravel over time with washing and wear. So we got to fix it so that that doesn't happen. And I thought I could, honestly try to fold this under just to hide it, but there's not a whole lot of allowance here. So when I tried to fold it and do like a little bit of a hem, there wasn't a whole lot of space left for me to really be able to do a nice straight line without it with it also catching along the threads here. I hope this is making sense. So if I fold this under, and I can fold it under without a problem, but folding it under would mean that when I sew it, it's not going to catch with the already existing hemline, right? So I am going to have to just press this out really well, and then just do a straight stitch line. And with the straight stitch line, this will not unravel with wear. Though it'll look like this, it won't unravel. So I've got my dark blue thread here. This is not the thread I purchased from Walwack. This is not the Gutermann brand. I think this was maybe the Coates & Clark. It's either a Coates & Clark or the Dual Duty brand, I think it is, from Walmart. I forget which one, but that's what this thread is here. And I have my settings on my machine. It is a lightweight denim, so I'm probably going to just go ahead and leave it on the 5. Actually, I'm going to move it towards like a 4 because it's not heavy. So I'm going to do the 4. Now, as it relates to the stitch, I'm going to try to keep the stitch as consistent with the other stitch line that's already existing. So it will likely just be a single stitch, which is number 1. And as far as the length and the width of this stitch line, I'm gonna test it first to see what's most consistent with what is already existing on the shirt. Hey guys, so here is the stitch line. I'm hoping you can see that. This actually looks like it's a basting stitch. It doesn't even look like it's a small stitch length. It looks pretty long to me, but I am going to go ahead and do a couple of test stitch lines on a piece of fabric just so I can try to get them to be as close as possible. Okay, so this first stitch line is a number 5, which is a basting stitch on my machine. And the second stitch line right here is a number 3, which looks to be much closer than the 5. And the number 1 is really, really small. So I think we're gonna stick with number 3. I think number 3 looks the closest to that stitch line right there. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and get this done. So I am going to do this as a top stitch. That way I can keep the needle and the new thread line, against the already existing one so that they'll meet at the end here. And I am going to start a little ways above the already existing stitch line. That way I can lock the stitch in, the new stitch. And I'm going to sew a little bit past this stitch line right here. That way I'm able to lock in the stitch again. And now we'll probably do a really small back stitch on the end and the beginning. All right, so that would be the hem. Nice and done. I'm going to take the pin out, but that's it. And I tried to keep the hem the same, with the same allowance. I don't even know what the allowance was. It looked like it was about a quarter inch maybe. I don't know how they managed to sew this and not capture the hem the way they, but I think this is okay. And I'll flip it over and show you all the back side of what this looks like. So this is the back of it. The hem is, that hemline is nice and straight. This is where it's nice and straight. There's no unraveling there. That's nice and tight. And yeah, so as you can see, if I had folded this part in, it probably would not have caught. It's just too narrow. So guys, this shirt is really super cute. But I did notice as I was sewing that there were quite a few like loose threads here and there. So I'm just gonna go ahead and clean up the loose threads for her that way. Yeah, it'll be nice and clean. That wasn't the ask, but if I'm gonna hem it, then why not just like clean it up for her? So like this here, like I can't have my friend out there looking like that. We're not gonna do that. We're not gonna do that. And then look at this one here. Like we're not gonna do that. Let me just clean it up for her.